announcement that it's working on a national strategy to combat wildlife. Today, as we all gather to crush this ivory into small pieces, gives these
Environmental agencies, New York State officials, ambassadors and celebrities, and many others gathered in Times Square in New York City on June 19th to witness the destruction of 1 ton of elephant ivory worth millions. In efforts to combat illegal wildlife trafficking, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, along with the New York State's Department of Environmental Conservation, the Wildlife Conservation Society, and the New York State Senate organized the event at what they call the crossroads of the world, attracting the masses.
At the end of the day, if we don't get people to understand that when they buy that trinket, they are fundamentally killing elephants, we will not have done our job. And that's why events like this are so important. At the end of the day, what we need to be doing is educating the American public and the global public, because this is a global issue. And what better place to do it than in Times Square? This is, you could think back to ancient Rome and the Roman Forum. This is the forum. This is the place where the world comes together. You walk around here, you'll hear dozens of languages being spoken. Fundamentally, from Times Square, we can amplify a message across the globe to say enough.
Governments around the world are joining the momentum in carrying out public destruction of ivory, known as the Ivory Crush, to raise awareness for the endangered species, as well as send a clear message against illegal wildlife trade.
The fact of the matter is that elephants last year were killed at a rate of 35,000. So the notion that this is somehow an alarmist figure and that it will be easily solved without people's participation, I think is simply false. There are maybe 350 to 500,000 elephants left in Africa, and if you do the math quickly, 35,000 a year, we could be seeing extinction of elephants in the course of 10 years. So that's just extraordinary. So we really are in crisis, and I think that, again, people can decide to evolve. And so my message is, let's evolve. Let's leave the trade behind.
Dozens of people have gathered here today in Times Square to witness the destruction of elephant ivory. Concerned members of the public gathered to showcase their support for the cause.
I think it's really important to get rid of all ivory, because as long as there's any market for ivory, elephants will continue to be killed. And it's for no reason at all. I mean, to kill any animal for products that we don't need is completely senseless.
As the world becomes more sensitive to environmental crises, the issue of ivory trade resonates not just with animal sympathizers, but with all concerned with the health and well-being of our planet. Tying together issues of illegal black market trade, health of local indigenous populations, and even funding of terrorist organizations, the buying and selling of elephant ivory garners worldwide attention.
This is large-scale, transnational, organized crime. Right? This isn't your grandfather's poacher. This isn't a poor villager that's going out and taking an animal because they're going to feed their family. This is being run by big-time syndicates, by mafias that are making literally millions and billions of dollars off of these products. Wildlife trafficking globally is now worth 8 to 10 billion with a B dollars annually. That puts it in the top 5 with drugs and trafficking in humans. So this is large-scale crime. And that trickle down of that kind of money in the black market and going to these criminal groups means that governments are being corrupted, and in places in Africa, some of that funding is actually flowing to really bad guys who are responsible for a lot of the conflict in places like Central Africa, and in some cases are linked to groups that are trying to do real harm to the United States, both here at home but also abroad. So we need to care about it for a number of reasons. But of course, at World Wildlife Fund, we just want to see these animals continue to survive in the wild, and I think that we've got a lot of Americans have our backs in that respect. So.
As the event came to a close and the last pieces of ivory were destroyed, it was clear to those present that the profits of these animal products were valueless without the life they stemmed from. I'm Stephanie Leontiev for NYU.